Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Clay Bowman, and I'm the Director of Business Development for Tech Insight. I'm accompanied today by BJ Lusk for this webinar, who is a Regional Sales Manager for Tech Insight, and we're going to be discussing the impact of cloud computing on the bulk materials industry. Uh, so thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking a few minutes of your day to be with us. In an introduction, we're going to tell you a little bit about our company and our platform. And then we're going to move to legacy software systems and their associated challenges. In other words, the past. And then we're going to get into the future. We're going to talk about unified web and mobile platforms. And then finally, we'd like to give you a little bit of a customer impact experience through a customer video that's not very long, so stick around to the end. I think you'll find it very interesting. Caldwell Stone will be doing a video presentation that we did an interview for them a couple of weeks ago, talking about their migration to the cloud. With that said, let's get started. So if you have a question, please just click at the bottom of the Zoom meeting on the Q&A button, and you can enter a question. And when we're done with the webinar, we'll come back to you and try to answer as many as we can in the webinar. If we can't get to you, we'd love to get back to you and answer your question. So what is Fastway? So Fastway is a vertically integrated point of sale automation tool with a full e-ticketing, logistics, and customer commerce marketplace platform. It's very modern, it's cloud-based, it's built from the ground up vertically. It's innovative in the respect that we compete against legacy platforms, being a client server environment. It's delivered in a SaaS model, so software as a service. If you're unfamiliar with what that is, it's a delivery method where you eliminate all of your network and hardware infrastructure for a piece of software, and you pay a monthly or annual fee to access that software, eliminating a lot of the IT and technical burden. It has a high data integrity, and it has a high degree of security built into it. Because these platforms, these cloud platforms where a lot of these software systems are hosted, are competing for your business. So security and data integrity is everything. Three target markets that we're focusing on as a company are the producer, the haulers, and the contractors. So Fastway is a total operations management tool. It has a centralized web portal where we house a lot of the point of sale transaction process, from order, pricing, and job management. We can even do invoicing and receivables out of the software platform. We do a great job because we're a cloud-based platform with bidirectional accounting integration. So if you have an ERP system where your data resides there and that's the master, then we do an excellent job in the cloud of bringing the master to the point of sale and bidirectionally moving the transactions back and forth. We have a full set of desktop and mobile ticketing tools. You can create tickets with our Scale apps in the Scale House, but then also we have a full mobile set of software. So if you needed to instruct one of your drivers or even a third-party hauler via the platform, we can transact that down at the app level, and he could be guided or directionally guided to what he needs to pick up or what he needs to do. And we did all that without a scale. Again, there's no costly IT infrastructure with a cloud-based platform. A lot of that just disappears, and it's just a very flexible way of doing business. Excuse me. And offline capabilities are part of what we do, because we understand that not everybody can have internet all the time. So we have the ability to run in an offline mode. We have a full dispatching and e-ticketing capability. We can even track your trucks. So if you want to do throughput in your quarries and track the movement of your own assets, or even third-party assets if you wish, you could do that. And then also we can track to and from the job site. We could tell you when the load was delivered, etc. We do all that through our mobile ticketing and proof of delivery system. So the past, what are the challenges that are posed by these legacy products that are pretty inundated in the construction materials marketplace? As the demands of an operation grow, legacy software methodologies become technologically obsolete and they can't meet the rigorous challenges of operational expansion. And so, with that in mind, we have several customers over the years that have expanded their businesses significantly. They've added multiple quarries to their operations. And so, in the cloud, expanding that capability is simplistic and seamless. Without all the network infrastructure in place required to actually put that business transactional software into play, it's very seamless and easy to operate. So some of the challenges of legacy systems is cost. The cost of a legacy system, whether they're upgrades, replacing the hardware multiple times over the life cycle of the product, implementing the product, all of these are significant cost factors. Additional users, adding users to the system. Adding users to the system can also be costly in a legacy environment. Ongoing IT support, the support charges and maintenance costs associated with maintaining that software. And when you look at when you look at a legacy platform and you consider how it works today in your business, are you bolting on ancillary products to that core product to make it more relevant for today's business use? For instance, in Fastway, we use a product called Power BI. It's an extremely powerful reporting tool for graph-based reporting, dashboard-based reporting. It's highly customizable and it's built into the system, where maybe in the legacy platform, if you wanted that level of reporting in your system, you're going to have to add an entirely new server, an entirely new infrastructure to support that. And it can get very cumbersome, expensive, and complicated. Obsolescence. Legacy systems in the server client environment are becoming more obsolete day by day. Honestly, the construction materials industry is behind the curve. If you look at the amount of money that's spent on new technology, the advancement of technology in a business in the construction materials or in the construction space in general, the amount of money that we spend on that relative to our revenues are very low, as opposed to other businesses and business models across the board. So we lack a little bit when it comes to adopting new technology, and we kind of stay in the old, but sometimes we don't have a choice. But we're seeing the landscape change, so it's positive, and there are companies that are leading the way in those respects. So another thing about cloud-based applications is, you have a horizontal software system versus a vertical software system. So in the horizontal method, you have a core piece of software, but then you have to bolt on other products across the board horizontally to keep it relevant and moving forward. Whereas with Fastway in the cloud, everything that you need for your business is vertical, built from the ground up to manage and operate your daily business. Also, in the legacy model, the obsolescence comes into play with data security and outdated software methodologies or ways of doing things. So as we evolve, we all have our cell phones and we all have our apps. These are very powerful. And I think that if we took them away tomorrow in our personal lives, it would be pretty devastating. We'd have to go back and figure out how to dial the phone again, if you will. So the same holds true for the technologies that we're harnessing in the cloud, especially in the construction materials industry. They're very flexible. They're very powerful. Pardon me. Inefficiency. So it's another issue when it comes to legacy style platforms versus the cloud. They have poor integration, relatively speaking, with ERP systems. There's a lack of bidirectional data movement between these two sources. Uh, the use of multiple components, like I spoke about before, bolting them on to compensate for this obsolescence is something that is very time consuming, and it can be very expensive. So operational processes also become disjointed and decentralized in the legacy platform, and that results in a slower production and a loss of revenue. Just sometimes it could just be frustrating, right? So as easy as it is to operate our daily lives from one of these, that's what Fastway is trying to do by bringing the cloud to the industry. So what's the future hold? Look, the future is very simple. The future for all of us, in as far as how we have operational pieces of software in the business, is unified, web-based, and mobile platforms with a full set of vertically integrated business tools. And so, as an industry, we need to avoid technological obsolescence by adopting modern cloud systems and business practices. By migrating your data by migrating your data and operations to the cloud, you can eliminate existing server hardware and network infrastructure costs. The power of the cloud. So the cloud offers a centralized data management system, and it's built to scale with your company's needs and growth. Centralized databases. I've talked to some customers over the years that have multiple databases for multiple regions within North America or South America, or even across, either side of the country into other parts of the world, where all of these databases have to be managed. They have to be updated, and they're very expensive and they're very costly. With the cloud, that literally disappears, the need for that. The cloud is customizable. It's built to grow with your company. We've had customers come to us with our cloud application and they've said, hey, we need to be able to do something a certain way. Can you accommodate us? And as long as it's not too far outside of the scope of our product, we have a really interesting ability to accommodate customers. And as we accommodate customers with our cloud architecture, we also accommodate other customers at the same time. So it's a great platform to build a future on. Bidirectional ERP integration, I've hit that a couple of times. Web and mobile tools to support the entire operation from the C level down to the operations level. Okay, so you'll see that a little bit later in the video. We'll show you how at the C level, it's helping people that are running the business get the information they need at the tip of their fingers. Another thing about our product and the cloud delivery is it's unlimited users. So if you have 5 users or 500, it doesn't matter. There's no additional costs. There's no additional support. It's just a matter of setting that user up and getting them started. You have an unparalleled in the cloud. You have an unparalleled access to real-time data as you never have before across the operation. And again, you get leading edge security and compliance. You also, in our platform, you get a feature-rich customer-based marketplace. In other words, a cloud marketplace that's controlled by the producer. The producer manages all of the transactional aspects of the operation and the tickets and the digitized information. So if someone is a user of the Fastway product, they now have the ability to manage all the data and put that data and send that data wherever they want it to go. They can have private users for logins for customers, haulers, and even DOT agents in the field. So it's an extremely flexible platform. So here is an example of a legacy system. And I think that, depending who's on the webinar this afternoon, you can appreciate this diagram. A lot of your companies probably have diagrams like this mapping out your network infrastructures for one particular product and how it works. A lot of customers today, even smaller customers, are using VPNs. VPNs sometimes can have huge holes in them for security issues. So whenever you're using a VPN and you're using a legacy piece of software, you know, you literally have to install that software on a laptop, set up the VPN, set up the connection. If you're using Citrix or something like that, you know, you've got to get all that put into place and connected properly. And, you know, with the cloud, it's so different. And, but all of that goes away, right? And as you migrate your business to the cloud, you have a completely different atmosphere. Like for us, we have two-factor authentication. We have other security parameters built into the software where you can be sure that whoever's accessing your system is allowed to access your system. And it can be moderated very easily. So with the cloud, there's no server or hardware required. There's no database licenses. Uh, you can roll out your entire operation, whether it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 30 plants onto one single vertical database, and everybody's on the same page at the same time. But even if you need to have structure where individual regions might run differently than others, their pricing's different, et cetera, that could be easily managed within the system. By doing this, you're going to minimize your IT footprint, and you know, your updates, they just come in the cloud. It's not like you have to plan. It's not like you have to say, okay, folks, well, we're going to do the server today. We're going to start rolling out the sites this week. And in a couple of weeks, you've got everything completed. With the cloud, the software updates just happen. So when we're ready and our software is ready, we release it as a general release into the platform, and everybody is updated instantly. The new function is available. Everyone has access to it. We eliminate, by going to the cloud, we eliminate your need to CapEx anything. And because you're going to a software as a service, you can now treat that as a different taxation requirement for your business. So it's an operating expense, if you will. There's no more hardware or future update costs associated with the platform. And you know, here's one thing that's important to understand about the cloud. A lot of people over the years, and you know, I've been in the software business for a long time in our industry, but they, even years ago, they're like, I'll never put my data in the cloud. And now it seems to me it's the only place to put it, because at the end of the day, it's your data in our platform. But Tac Insight will never bill you or your customers to access your own data. So the data that you create, the tickets that you cut for your business that you need to put out into a marketplace so your customers can access them, so that your haulers can access them, so that your DOT agents can access them, it's up to you to control that. There's no additional cost layers involved in that. And I think it's very important to mention. So cloud-based platforms are highly scalable. And, you know, you can, like I mentioned earlier, you can expand and grow your business with ease. And it's all pointing back to the same central cloud application, the Fastway software, your company's Fastway implementation. You know, I was on site a week ago and we were remotely implementing this customer for one scale. He had a one scale operation, and in less than an hour, we were connected to scale and operational and up and running. You know, it's just so easy to actually implement something in the cloud. So we kind of laughed about this one. Fastway was e-ticketing before e-ticketing was cool. I mean, look, Fastway was designed from the ground up to be a product that freed the customer and freed the customer's customers. It's a platform that had e-ticketing built into it before it ever became a buzzword. And so you have to understand, this product used to be a legacy platform, and about 5 years ago, the principals of the business reinvested in the application, and we do have what we have today because of that. And so in its nature, it has an intelligent e-ticketing solution just built right into the platform. And with that said, if you'll allow me, I'm going to play you a short video from our regional sales manager, BJ Lusk. He put this together for us. Please enjoy.
Hey, this is BJ Lusk, Regional Sales Manager with TAC Insight, and I want to talk to you today about e-ticketing and proof of delivery. I think it's important to note that every ticket within the Fastway system is digitized and immediately transferred to the web portal when it's created at the scale house.
I think we had a technical problem. Sorry.
Electronic delivery of tickets can happen in many ways within the Fastway system. One way is with the free mobile management app, which is available for Android devices in the Google Play Store and in the App Store for Apple devices. Within the mobile management app, we give you the ability to access these digital tickets as soon as they are created at the scale house. We can even use the same mobile management app for proof of delivery of a load of material. We also can capture the signature of the customer and take a picture to verify the material being delivered. Once the proof of delivery is complete, we transmit this information back to the web portal where we maintain a record of this delivery. This record contains detailed ticket information, including the date and time it was received, who received the material, a geotag showing where the truck was when he delivered the material, as well as links to the image and signature we captured at the time of delivery. So, who can access this information? Along with staff personnel, your customers, haulers, truck drivers, and even DOT inspectors can be given credentials to log in and access digital ticket and POD, proof of delivery, information.
So how about we talk about moving your operations to the cloud? Look, it's simple. You ditch your existing IT infrastructure. All of that bulky, bloated hardware and infrastructure goes away. It goes away forever. You never return. Data migration from your legacy system to Fastway is easy. We have a full set of REST APIs. We can bring any piece of data from anywhere. If you could just get it to us, we can get it into the Fastway system. And we've done this historically with our clients. You can implement Fastway in your business efficiently and economically in just a few days, not months. It's not like some big, legacy project. Our staff, they're smart, they're agile, they're fast, they're just great to work with. Our customers love them. Some of the things that I did when I first came here was sit in on some support calls. It's just fantastic to work with a bunch of people that understand technology and understand how to execute technology in your business. Training and go live can be conducted using modern web-based meeting tools, kind of like what we're on right now with Zoom. So the whole approach, the entire approach is changed to make it more economical for you, the customer, and more streamlined to get you up and running quickly and efficiently. So let's talk about the industry and customer impact. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, we were going to share a video with you from Caldwell Stone, and I plan on doing that after this slide. But what we want to do is we want to create an environment where the company assets can be managed in real time in a fully integrated workflow, and that has numerous benefits for you, both operational and financial. So if you will, please pay attention. Thank you.
I'm Clay Albright, Caldwell Stone. I'm a third generation operator of our family's quarry. It's been in my family since about 1960, and it's the only place I've ever worked. I can remember, Dad talking about dealing with Armando, Mike's dad, way back in the day, and ever since I've been old enough to run the scales, we've had Fastway.
I think it was 2 years ago you guys migrated from, you know, the traditional legacy Windows application over to this new cloud platform.
Yeah, so I think it was summer of 2017, and I remember this specifically because I did a great job of planning the implementation about a week before I went on a vacation. So, but we, you know, in the past, we were standalone system. There was no, I would ask my dispatch, hey, you know, how many ton of this did we sell today? How many ton of that did we sell today? Now, I think probably the biggest feature for me is the mobile app. I just, you know, open it up and I look and I say, we sold X amount of 57s today. That was saved me from asking dispatch, and it's allowed me to kind of, you know, be able to help me understand on production side what we're selling. So I just open the thing up here, and then I like to look and see, you know, what we've done as of certain time of day, and it'll tell me how many tons of, you know, class 2, how many ton of 57s we've sold, and that just helps me kind of keep track for me dealing with production as well as that. It's also you know, I can look at my year-to-date, month-to-date totals a lot quicker. I don't have to go ask ladies in the office, and then it takes them time. I can do that on my own just out of curiosity. I can get an image of the ticket, and I've got some customers, it might just be a good friend of mine, he was just curious, I'm gonna screenshot him a ticket, text it to him really quick.
What about access to the portal for your customers and haulers? Are you doing some of that? Are you allowing your customers in
Yes.
to download data?
The biggest customers that will use that will be like asphalt plant, block, and ready mix, because those are the guys that probably do more volume than most everybody else. So we stopped printing tickets for them when we switched to the new Fastway platform, which saves me some time and ticket hassle and having to, you know, deliver them lots of tickets, actual physical copies of tickets. So we now just kind of have them access to a portal. They log in and get the Excel spreadsheet and download it into whatever software they're using for their financials. If they'd like a copy of the ticket, you know, maybe their truck driver left one or forgot one, they can reprint one themselves. It saves a lot of extra legwork on our end. We use it for the haulers, the guys that deliver for us. They've got a hauler login, and for instance, let's say Mike Emerson, who's been hauling for us for 25 plus years, he has his app, the mobile app, and it's logged into his hauler portal, so he can see how many loads he's hauled that day. He just likes it to reconcile to make sure that, you know, sometimes we might click something wrong on the scale. Well, it might have chose the wrong truck. Well, he had the ticket, he's able to see that.
What about the back office billing clerks? Do they seem to have improved information in the back office?
Oh yeah, so I mean, inevitably we'll have,
I remember Peggy.
jobs.
I remember Peggy. Is she still work back there?
Yes, Peggy's still here. I think it cut down on her time considerably. I would say several hours a week of cut back as far as her having to do some of that, which frees her up to do other stuff. Things are a lot smoother now. They're able to get information because a lot of times we have customers that'll call and, you know, they need to know how many tons was hauled on some PO or an order.
Yeah.
And in the past, it was, you know, it was a little time consuming to find all that out. It's a lot easier now searching for tickets and, you know, adding tonnages up. Probably the easiest thing for us that I've liked the most is the fact that, you know, everyone's calls and orders pizza and they go, Steve, last time you ordered this and this and this, is this what you want again? And we never had the ability with the old Fastway to look and see what someone got the last time. Well, now it'll save these orders pretty much indefinitely, and so if someone calls and says that, you know, I live at 123 Sesame Street, all I have to do on the ticketing app is search 123 Sesame Street, and it pops up the prior haul. I can see the rate. I can give them a price a lot quicker. I can tell what order or what products were set up on that order, and we'll have the name and directions, and I'll say, hey, is this still the correct directions? And then I'll read them off to them, and they say yes. It takes a lot less time to take that order. And especially with the people that may only get 1 or 2 loads a year to freshen up the driveway, so it's kind of given us the ability to look quicker back at history, which I think is really helpful. I've even had it where someone bought someone else's house, called, gave us the address, and I pulled it up and it said, was that Steve? And they're like, no, we bought the house from Steve. So we just edit the guy's name, and now that order's in here for the next time.
Nice. Okay, well, I appreciate it, Clay, and we look forward to continued service with you guys. And
appreciate you guys helping us, even though we're a one-plant operation. Sometimes we're the small guy, but y'all definitely don't treat us like it, so we appreciate it.
So thank you so much. We appreciate you spending some time with us. We certainly appreciate Clay sharing his experience with the Fastway cloud-based platform. I hope it's been beneficial for you. And we would love to have a conversation with you further if any of this is interesting. With that said, I'd like to turn it over to BJ if there's any questions. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't see any questions right now. If anybody has anything, feel free to answer them or ask them. And we'll try to answer them. If we don't get an answer on this webinar, we'll definitely shoot out an email to you to answer those questions.
So I guess at the end of the day, folks, the cloud is fundamentally changing our industry. You know, when you look out into the industry itself, there's not a lot of cloud applications that have been built that are very mature. There's a handful, and so when you're looking to automate your business, you know, Fastway made the decision many years ago, almost 5 years ago now, to actually take this endeavor on. And so we hope that you got something out of this webinar, and we certainly appreciate you joining us. And if you have any questions about the cloud or about the industry in general, or you have some input, please call us and we would be happy to have a conversation with you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon and a good rest of the week. We appreciate you. Have a nice day.